This right here is one of the composts I've been working on since winter. Well, this one has a combination of grass, green grass, some dry grass, some leaves, some manure, and bits of, I guess, plants and greenery. I'll turn it around. In many ways, this is just like a mulch. There was worms going at the bottom here, but at the moment I'm not really seeing anything. So I guess there's not too much for the worms in here, I don't know. But I might have to mix some of this with something else. Let's move on to this one, shall we? This one is a mixture of, I believe, chicken shit and human compost, and I think it's the most valuable one, which all the worms love. I'll sift through it again. Using a very dramatic shovel, but it's alright. I mean, this one's a lot more black and has, what do you call it, more worms in it than the other. This is the food scrap. I started using newspaper, I didn't want to, but that's where I'm at the moment. Again, I don't know where my little friends are. Oh, there's some in there. And worms. Yep. So, this is that one here. Some worms in there. Now, I will say I have a bad habit of trying to use my compost when it's not completely ready. But my issue is I don't have enough compost to both let it go and then actually start a garden. The only success I'm sort of having is if I plant seeds in the earth and sort of fertilize it as it grows. In many ways that can be a problem, but it's the only thing I can think of doing, to be honest. This one's for food scraps and newspaper and leaves and whatever else. Food scrap compost you saw in that other garden area, that was what I took out from this, so I could have it more in an open area. Seems to work a lot better in here, and it keeps going down and down. You probably can't see in here, but at the moment there's a lot more fructose and acid than anything else, which is something I need to work on. Now there's a tomato plant there, and I believe another one in a pot, and a capsicum, and my gone to seed silver beet right there. Moving on, we've put a sweet potato, I believe it is, right there, and we had spring onion that we replanted, and some more seedlings in there. Now over here is our
horse manure sort of garden bed, but it's not really doing too much at the moment because the mixture is a bit wrong. But nonetheless, there is a tree growing here, and I've put in some comfrey here, and a tomato plant I just randomly stuck here, and something is growing here, which is what I love. Every time summer hits, all these old seeds start to come up, but every time I try to plant a seed, it somehow doesn't even work. And at the front here we have a tree of some sort, or a bush, and another shrubby bush tree thing, and all these trees that have taken a few years to take off, but now it's shading the foreground of the property. If I can focus on that. There's an experiment that we are trying to do, which I think as of this morning is sort of failing because of the mice plague, which is a pain in the ass. What tends to happen is we'll run experiments which will go alright for about a week, and then they'll do a harvest around the area, and then the mice will come and eat all of my beautiful seedlings that are coming up. Now, the things that you see under the tree, all that green growth, is just us watering every single day, morning and night, and throwing seeds out to see what we can grow without using a garden bed. It was working successfully, and it looks like something has eaten what looked to be silver beet. My idea for this is to see if seasonal really matters too much with certain plants, if they are shaded by trees. A giant plant right here, and I gotta move along. A water tank. Now these are the things I'm talking about. Just things that just grow by just having it in the ground. The only effort is watering and mulching and whatnot. Grapes are coming up, and my elderberry, which I've had in for a couple of years now, over there, and just some random plants. The reason why this is pretty big and out of control almost is because we have some tap water running down here on a daily basis and keeping that watered. Now here's my rosemary and lavender over here, and my little walk-in bridge. And shortly at springtime I had these beautiful flowers on this rose looking bush and it's sort of making a nice shaded area. And under here, which I don't know if you can see, I've got some pepino and some sort of berry, and there's some sort of berry growing on there now. Now as I come in here across this bridge that needs to be repaired, I get a giant bamboo. Well, it's tall. I transplanted this from across the road, and it was quite small, and when I put this water source in here, yeah, it really shut off. Now I've got more nettle here, and in here is some strawberries that aren't really doing too much, and I got this giant bush thing here and some wormwood, I think it's called, and more comfrey over here, and my giant pepino bush, which I had fruit on it and then it rotted away. I put a tomato plant over here, and there's my pond again, which has grass and lily pads in it and a fish. It used to have a lot of fish, but not anymore. This is my mint, which I transplanted after receiving it from my neighbour. And then there is a chili plant, which I think mice are eating. some, what's it called? I'll get back to that in a minute. This is another capsicum. Oh, I think. Anyway. And some stuff growing in there. It might be a tomato, I don't know. That is nightshade. Either the deadly one or not. Don't know, but you can eat certain ones. And that's pretty much it for this area. But this was nothing, and I tried many times to attempt to make garden beds in here, but I did not succeed. So I decided to slowly make it into a herb type garden area. This is just sitting there for temporary measures, right? As I tried to, well, attempting to chop and drop with comfrey, wormwood, and whatever the hell that is, I don't know. And I like this bamboo because the other day I didn't even notice, but it was gigantic.